afternoon and welcome. We're a bit later in the day than we would normally be because normally we're here at 9 o'clock in the morning, but 9 o'clock this morning I was attending on stage at home, and that finished about an hour ago, so I still haven't finished my tea that I made myself, but we're here to do some crafting. So quick slurp. Hopefully you'll be able to catch up even if you're not able to come and join us live. I've got a very itchy palm. Now I know one hand is money in and one hand is money out, isn't it? It's my right hand. I'm not sure whether that's money in or money out. We should see. I'll have to go and check my bank accounts in a little while. Like lots of us around the UK at the moment, we got collared with a bit of a scam that seems to be going around, where you suddenly check your bank statement and you've got lots and lots of payments going out, apparently to Amazon. So do keep an eye on that, everybody. If you're here in the UK, do check your bank accounts and make sure that everything that's going out of them should be. So I better go and check that we haven't been caught again, if it's the money out hand. Right, so today, I've come on today and I thought I'm going to do a project with you that I've been trying to get done for about the last 10 days. And I thought, well, why not come and share? Come and share that project and we'll do it together. So in the time between the end of On Stage and now, I've been doing quite a bit of die cutting and things. And I've got my hot glue gun on. And we're going to do a bit of a 3D project. So here I have got a wooden wreath, and I've got quite a few of these, and we used them at a retreat. I'm not sure that it was last year before. So I've got a few of these wreaths lying around, and if you look very carefully, you will notice that the burlappy type ribbon going round it does alter. I've gone into my retired ribbon collection and there was sort of lots of little odds, so I've used up all those little odds and ends covering my wreath, and they're not going to be particularly seen. It's just going to be a background, so I'm not particularly worried about the fact that it is odds and ends. And if I bring in my little die cuts, you may get a little bit of a clue as to what we're going to make. I've been wanting to make a poppy wreath that I'm going to hang in my window, because we're creeping up. I think Monday we were talking about poppies. We're creeping up towards Remembrance Day, and obviously things aren't going to happen as they normally do. So lots of people are putting posters and things up in their window. And I thought I'd quite like to create, we've got these gorgeous poppy dies, I would quite like to create a wreath. Now, one of my motivations for doing this, and I think on Monday I said my mum was very involved in the Women's British Legion, and so it sort of always had a bit of a special feeling for us as a family, and I did send off for their fundraising pack because I'm very aware that they're going to probably be struggling this year, because they're not going to be out and about as much. There's not going to be the same amount of people out buying poppies, and one of the things they've got is they're talking about Choose Your 1111 challenge. So it's about got suggestions or whatever, but to do things in 11s, if you like. So I thought there's a couple of things that I will do. This is the first of them, and I'll do another one actually on the 11th of the 11th, around that number 11. And I also will, when I edit this video later, we'll put some links up to where you can actually go and donate to that Poppy Appeal if you so wish. But it's just to sort of highlight that, to have a bit of fun and to highlight that appeal as well. So what I thought we would do is we would aim to get 11 poppies on this wreath, and I think that 11 is going to work quite well. So I have already cut 5 little poppies, both the sort of front bits and the back bits, and 6 big poppies, and various leaves and centres and all sorts of things. So we've got a ring. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big poppies. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the fancy bits for these. Hopefully we've got the same amount of those as well, otherwise we can go back to our die cutting machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got various leaves. I haven't really calculated leaves. I don't know how many there are of those. We'll see. We might manage to do 11 leaves as well. But we're going to aim for 11 poppies. So 6 big ones, 5 little ones. So I've got my glue gun on because I thought that would be a better way of attaching the flowers themselves. So, I've been busy today at On Stage at Home. You may well have seen pictures earlier of our, well, it wasn't a make and take as such. They called it a stamp and share. That's what they called it. Let's yes. Let's get this the right way round. Pick that up. So we did our stamp and shares with the new Dandy Garden bundle. And that is part of a much bigger suite that has some really lovely things in. Got quite a lot of glue on there. So that's really lovely. We've got to see the new spring summer catalogue. So exciting things coming up for you in the future as we move into the new year, but as crafters we've got lots yet to do with this old year. So Christmas cards, Christmas projects, remembrance. If you're in a part of the world where you celebrate Thanksgiving, you've got that coming up. Although I think whatever part of the world you're in, we should celebrate. It's a good time to stop and say thanks for all those things that we are really grateful for. Family and friends and community, fellow stampers, all of those things. So we've got Thanksgiving coming up. And I know I'm thinking to myself, I don't know about you, but I think we should all aim to send more Christmas cards this year than we perhaps normally do. Those people that sort of, hover on your list and you're not sure whether to send one or not, send them one anyway. I think it's in this very weird world that we're living in, it's the one thing that we can do, isn't it? We can use our gift, our talent, share a bit of love around. So we've got 3. It's there, isn't it? I'm looking for this sort of square, not quite square, but squarer petal to line that up. Sort of got that one that's a little bit on its own and a bit squarish. We've got our centres of our poppies to come in there in a minute too. Of course, what I could have done is to have die cut all of these with some double-sided sheet on the back, and then this bit would have been just so much easier, wouldn't it? Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Let's give that a press. Oh. Last of the large ones going on. Just little spots of glue on the back here, just to anchor that down. 6 big ones. Let's come in with these 5 little ones. These are the sorts of sets that just really cry out for a bit of a 3D home decor-y type project. Got such gluey fingers now, they're sticking to my fingers rather than each other. Looking for my simplicity, just to give my fingers a bit of a wipe and make them a little less tacky. Spots of glue on here as well. And then we've got some leaves as well that we're going to scatter. So I've used 3 different colours of green and 2 different shapes of leaves. The penultimate poppy. I do love that word, penultimate. It's funny, isn't it, how some words just appeal. And last but not least, I'll come back in and properly arrange those poppies. That's not necessarily their finishing spot. Just make sure that these little centerpieces, they suddenly make the whole flower pop, don't they? And very appropriately look like smiling coronavirus. It's amazing how suddenly the addition of just that black centre just makes them really go pop. Should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more big ones. There it is. And then we've got some of the little ones as well that look like eyelashes. That looks even redder on the camera than it does in real life. I have used Poppy Parade, obviously. That would be it would seem silly not to. So the main back of the poppies is all in Poppy Parade. The highlights are in Real Red. obviously you haven't just got to, because this is very definitely a remembrance themed wreath. I'm obviously going to go for the sort of traditional red poppy, but poppies themselves of course can be, ornamental poppies can be all sorts of colours. Now somewhere I should have another little eyelash. There you are, buried right at the bottom, hiding underneath all of our leaves. And then we'll have a little look at what leaves we want. So I've cut this big long one here in old olive, and the highlight piece for that I've cut in garden green, and then the smaller one, the back piece, is in garden green, and the highlight bit on the top is in mossy meadow. So we've got sort of like those two lots of two-tone leaves. So let's just pair some of those up. As I say, we'll see which we want and how many. I've actually cut 6 of the long ones and 8 of the shorter ones. So we'll see how we go with those, as to how many we actually want. Also cut out some letters in there because I thought we'd have a little banner coming across it. So I was able to cut these out surprisingly quickly actually, because quite a few of them I was able to cut double layer cardstock. So the poppy backgrounds, certainly I was able to run a double layer of cardstock through and cut 2 out at once. And same the leaves, both sets of leaves, I was able to cut out 2 at once. The poppy fronts, I did need to run those through individually. They were a little bit more delicate to get out. So although it would cut through the 2 layers, it was getting them out of the dye afterwards. I was spending more time trying to get them out of the dye than I would have done actually running the dye through twice. So, and then I had a couple that tore, so I gave that one up as a bad shout. Ooh, just put my finger on my hot glue gun, which I can confirm is hot. Let's just make up some of these leaves. And we'll have a few of those scattering around and about. Let's do one of these. May even be almost worth, in fact I might do that in a minute, putting some glue on one of our silicone craft sheets and picking the glue up from there. And I see, yes, my silicone craft sheet. So I'm just going to squidge some glue onto there, and then pick a bit up. And stick it down. I'm going to pop this overhead lamp on. I don't know whether that improves light for you particularly, but it's getting quite dark in here. Hello Thea, hope you're feeling okay and not, you had a bit of a upset tummy yesterday. Let's have this one. Obviously, if I'd have had time, I'd have not only die cut these, I'd have stuck a few together as well. But they're coming together fairly quickly now. Just the last few leaves. So the other thing I thought to do, so when I said we'd do this and we would do use 11 poppies as part of that 11/11 craft activity, you know, our 11/11 challenge. And the other thing I am planning on doing is I will come on and next Wednesday, rather than doing a YouTube video, which I'd normally do, I'll try and get done and up on a Wednesday, I will come on live and we will do a poppy one sheet wonder and create 11 cards from our sheet. So that will be the aim on Wednesday. So then that will be 2 ways that we have used that idea of 11, because obviously Remembrance Day is the 11th of the 11th. And 11 o'clock is the hour. How are we doing? We're getting there. Oh, that was beautifully lined up then and moved at the last minute. My hands are so sticky now. Down there. 11th of November is also my son's birthday, so another reason why it's a day to remember. He wasn't born at 11 o'clock though, I didn't manage that. Right, last leaf. I'm going to give my gluey fingers a bit of a rest and I'll come back and do the letters in a minute, but we'll stick these leaves on. Let's arrange them and then we'll bring our glue gun into action and get them stuck in place. Right, I think we're a little bit less gluey now. Just doing some sort of vague placements. Right, oh, I've got another one just here that could come up the top there. So that's very vaguely where we're going to stick those. Quick slurp of my now pretty well cold tea, and let's come in and pop these in place. So there we go. A nice dollop, oh, not quite that big a dollop of hot glue on there. Oh, that wasn't what we wanted, was it? Just dolloped me glue onto me leaf. I may need, I will probably just tuck that under there for now. I'm going to replace that one in a bit, because I don't think we want quite that dollopy shiny bit of so much glue everywhere. Just using my hot glue just because it's just that little bit more permanent, particularly onto the sort of the Hessian. Of course, with hot glue guns you always get string. We can come on later and pull off. Just arrange that a little bit before it sets. one. Coming in there. Have this one coming out there. I'm going to come back up to this top now. Seem to have whizzed through that glue stick. Let me just get another one, because we really don't want to be running out. Have that little poppy coming in there. And our leaf coming out there. This poppy here. Hi Caroline, I said at the beginning, this is something that I've been meaning to do, that I've been trying to get done for days, so I thought I would come on and we could do it together. So I'm just creating a remembrance poppy wreath that I'm going to be able to stick in my window. Now obviously I'm going to have lots of glue gun strings there that I'm going to sit and pick off for the next couple of hours. That's always very therapeutic. Quite pleased with how that's coming on. Now the other thing I want is a bit of black card. Just have a look, because I've been cutting up and doing things today. See if I've got a strip of black card anywhere. Yes. I think actually I'm going to take a piece of A4, because I'm going to take a long length, I think. So yeah, so we're much later today because obviously it's on stage at home. So so at 9 o'clock this morning I was busy doing my on-stage crafting. And I'm going to take a bit of poppy parade, so I've cut that at 5 centimetres. I'm going to cut this at 4.5. Again, I'm going to do a full length, and then we'll decide how long we want them. I'm going to grab my banner end punch, because that will fit. Will that fit? Yes, it will just. So I'm going to hold that in place. Let's just put my wreath to one side. And let's banner end that. And what I want to do is I'm going to measure I think 4 centimetres from the end and score, and then 5 centimetres from the end and score, because what I want to do is create an actual banner that's going to have a kick to it. So by that, so whatever that mark is just there, I want to score it again. So that is 6 centimetres from the other end. Let's score it again at 5 centimetres from the other end. And then let's cut it at 4 centimetres from that score. I'm going to trim a little bit off the end of the red one. So I measured where I wanted that score line to be. I scored that one. It's on today and tomorrow, Caroline, so it's yeah, it was last night, all day today, well, most of the day today, from 8 o'clock this morning to about 3:30, and then similar tomorrow. So good fun. Got to play with some new products today, and got to see the new catalogue. Just going to take my scissors and trim that. Got to see what's coming. Some lovely things, but obviously we've still got a lot of lovely things to play with in this catalogue yet. Right, so I've actually cut out the word remember. Or the letters to make up the word remember. R-E-M, E, M, B, E, R. Excellent. I think what I will do is I'm going to stick these two bits together. Where's my combo? Here it is. Let's add a bit of a squidge as well. Let's line up those score marks. Gives that a nice bit of a kick just there. And then we'll let's lie these back out again so that we're happy with where they're going. Remember, remember, we've had the 5th of November. So obviously, if you're somewhere in the world that you don't have Remembrance Day, it may be that you have, I don't know whether poppies are universal. Remembering sort of past wars and things elsewhere in the world. But there's no reason why you couldn't have a multicoloured poppy wreath anyway. You could have purple poppies, pink poppies, yellow poppies. But we've managed to get 11 poppies in there. So we've taken on the Royal British Legion's 11 challenge for the 11th of the 11th. 11 poppies in our remembrance wreath. And it just goes to remind us not only of people that have been injured or died in wars and conflicts, but on a crafty level it reminds us how beautiful these poppies are. Just stunning. Oh no, I've lost an E. Where have you gone? Quite like the way that black just pops out on that red. I think we'll use our hot glue gun to just put some glue on there and bend that over a little bit. And we'll just want something I might just about have enough of this red and white and the playful pets. Let's thread that through there. And there we have choose your 11/11 challenge. So we've chosen to create a poppy wreath with 11 poppies in it. And so, and I'll put some links up so that if anybody does want to contribute to the Royal British Legion this year, when it's going to be really weird, and they do a lot of work. They do a lot of work helping people that have been injured or have been in the armed forces, young and old, families, all sorts of things. So we will put that link up, and as I say, I'll come in actually on the 11th and we'll do that one sheet wonder. We'll do a poppy one sheet wonder and create 11 cards from it. So that will be two things that we've done as 11 challenges on this as we come up close to Remembrance Day. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Do go and get your poppies out and start creating your very own wreath to hang in the window. And I'm sure there'll be lots more news coming from On Stage over the next 24 hours or so, but then I will be back on Monday at the usual time of 9 o'clock. So see you then.